Rosa on line 12, who's having some questions.
Rosa.
Hi.
Hi, Rosa.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. I have a 2-year-old son. My husband and I both have a 2-year-old son. And my husband is a cross-dresser. He has been since childhood. And
you knew about it all along?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. And when we found out that we were pregnant, we were really concerned about having a child and bringing them up in this type of an atmosphere. We hadn't planned on having children, and this just kind of happened. So
in other words, you didn't disapprove?
No, not really. I mean, I was friends with him for 3 or 4 years prior to even becoming...
And would he dress up with you and you'd go out in the town together?
Sure. Yeah. As odd as that sounds.
No, I'm just asking. Odd is not my judgment.
Okay.
Okay. And now?
Now we have a 2-year-old son.
Yeah.
And we've been to 6 psychologists that I can name or think of, and nobody has really been able to give us any, advice as to whether we should keep this from, the boy as he's growing up, or whether we should let him know about it, or what. I mean, we've gotten a lot of, excuse me, I don't have the answer for that.
I got a lot of...
or, Mark, you should quit altogether. And we tried to...
He obviously isn't going to quit.
No.
And you have no desire making him quit because you accepted him on that basis.
Well, he's tried to quit in the past.
What do you mean tried to quit?
Well, we took the one psychologist's advice, because we really want the best for our son. And this went on for 4 or 5 months, and he became almost intolerable to live with. It's a stress release for him. And I knew that the man was really trying to keep things under control. He works a very stressful job. And
what does he do?
He's an oil refinery worker.
I'm just imagining how a burly, oily, refined worker looks in a gown.
Yeah, well, not too bad.
Okay. So his relationship with the boy is what?
Beautiful. Just great.
The kid has no need to know.
Okay, what about this idea? Now, we've thought about that, believe me. But we're under the impression that eventually he will find out.
Eventually he will find out.
And then it will be almost like a lie, that trust.
Well, you could go to a Halloween party, and he can see his father dressing up as a woman for a Halloween party and think it's funny.
Well, I think it needs to happen more than once a year. That's the
problem. I know, but that's
okay.
where I would start. Halloween is a time of that, as you know.
Okay, right.
Anyone who lives in this town knows about that.
Right, okay, right.
Okay. The main thing is you don't want to provide the model for him repeating the behavior because it produces a lot of discomfort.
Right.
Okay. I believe in openness with children, and the kid's going to find out. The main thing is he needs to have a relationship with his father where he sees his father for the man that he is, and for all the strength and that sort of thing.
Right.
And it can be a secret that his father tells him later on in the midst of a relationship where he and his father are sharing something very intimate.
Okay, can I ask you something?
But I would not reveal it till then.
Okay. Mark does this about once or twice a month, okay, and he has a lot of the paraphernalia, if you will, in closets and things like that. Are you telling me that we totally purge the house of all of this? And
you're telling me that your son is going to know the difference?
Whether it's his or mine?
Yeah.
Definitely, because because I'm almost just the opposite. I mean, if I put a dress on, I'm in drag. You know what I'm saying? I am a blue-collar worker. I wear a lot of Levi's. I wear a lot of dungarees and tennis shoes and things of this nature. I don't wear
dresses in the closet for a kid to go in there and say, "Hey, Ma, these must be Dad's," is like an absolute stretch of the imagination that only your guilt and confusion would make. He sees a dress in the closet. He's got a mother and he's got a father. My guess is that he's going to think that it's his mother's dress. Tell me I'm wrong. Someone call. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're right.
Thank you.
Okay.
You don't need to tell the kid.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, I mean, what stress release is stress release, and sometimes people cross-dress and they just want to get out of their body and out of their sense of who they are and figure that they don't have the burdens on them. And I bet if you talk to that man, he would feel the pressure, unbelievable pressures of having to be a wage earner, and I'll bet he had a very strong father who took care of the family, and sometimes a man's burden gets very, very hard, and it's time to put a dress on.
Well, this is one of those calls where I wish that the husband had been there. You know, sometimes we get both people on the line. We don't have too much time left.
I once had a couple that I saw where she was really angry when the husband finally revealed that he was a cross-dresser. She went into his closet and said, he had $250 shoes. I never spend that much on shoes. Go ahead.